Okay, greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone this morning? So good, I hope. So good. Good morning, Sarah. How are you? Good morning. Oh my gosh, I have so many fun things to share with you. You know, it's so different than every other Tuesday and Thursday. Whatevs. Good morning, Valerie. Good morning. Everybody make sure you have a great big drink. I have my Salud in my pink Yeti from Keeley that I'm just mad about. And it does, I will say, drinking with a straw does make you drink more, and that's a good thing, right? More water. More water. Okay, so, I would, oh my gosh, do you remember the other day we painted the, well, let's do this part first, because then I'll get all caught up in my stuff. Okay, so if you are brand new here and you haven't done this just yet, if you would like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, all the things, please hit the little heart button, all those things, the little thumbs up, all of those things. I know they seem like silly little things, but they do help me. On Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and then ask to join our private Facebook group, Stitch Along with Anne and Anne Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook groups. And then go to AnneCorbiereScottDesigns.com for things like the Woodland Flowers art printable that is in the 6th birthday bundle. Let me see if I put that. A link to that. That is 6 pieces of art for the price of 5. That is available. That was only available if you attended the Walk in the Woods artist retreat, but now it's available to everybody. So give it a shot, because there's lots of great artwork in there. There's an alphabet, there's woodland wildflowers, there's forest floor fungi, there's winged things. Oh my gosh, there's a coverall called Vine Vibes. Oh my gosh, so many things. But anyway, this is the one that we painted the other morning with my brand new Lindy's Magicals that I just got, called French Garden. And so here are all the pieces that I painted. And oh my gosh, look at this poor little Lily of the Valley. This one, is it this one? I lost one little teeny tiny flower, but I was like, when I was fussy cutting, and I was like, oh no, I have to keep that. I have to, I will piece that down when I glue it. Okay, so I painted all of these bits and bobs. You remember that. And then I fussy cut them out. I love fussy cutting. I especially love doing it when I am watching TV in the evening. But then as I was doing this, I thought, you know what? I'm going to paint myself some background paper, some artsy papers using these same gorgeous colors, because I cannot waste. And Valerie, I thought you would like to know that I have kept the bits and bobs like this is the little remains of the magicals. I left them in my palette, and I will rehydrate those and paint again. Okay, so then I started thinking about I started thinking about good morning, Keels. Like what I wanted to do to highlight these artsy papers and to build some artsy cards and a Rolodex. You know, I like to try really hard to create a Rolodex card for myself, for my vintage Rolodex that just has positive affirmations and artwork. I try to have artwork from as many of my art printables as I can. Okay, so here's the first. So first I painted these with my magicals, which are French Garden. That's what this palette is. And then I painted some artsy papers to coordinate with these painted bits. Then I cut them up into card mat sizes, and then I embossed them with all manner of embossing folders that I have in my stash. I do love a ooh, Keels, maybe yours will be blooming by the time I get to your house. Oh, I just love Lily of the Valley. Okay, so I pulled out all kinds of embossing folders that I have, and so I cut up a couple of these sheets into card front sizes, and I embossed them with a plethora of embossing folders. And I have, if you get the chance, I know this sounds crazy, but if you get the chance, be on the lookout for Stampin' Up! A couple years ago had some of the coolest embossing folders. And then I kind of think that they went away with them. But this one is that one, that one, that one, and that one. No, this one's all to new. These were all from Stampin' Up! So I don't know, unless you have somebody who sells Stampin' Up! Or whatever the case is. Be sure to I like to look for embossing folders that are open-ended, like not one that is covered in shoes, but one that's covered in a pattern, because then I can do with a million things with a pattern, right? I also have this one called Organic Linen, and this was from 2020, so you might still be able to find it from All to New. Organic Linen, one of my favorites. And then this one is from Spellbinders, and it's 100 years old too, but it was like textured linen or something like that too. Anyway, so I took a bunch of card front pieces and that I had painted, and then I embossed each one of these with different embossing folders. Stop it, look it up, just look it up. Okay, so I have those, and then remember I said I really wanted to do a Rolodex card. So I took a piece of paper that hadn't been cut up yet, and I embossed it, but I embossed it oh my gosh, I cannot believe you got rid of that, Tammy. Shame, shame, shame. Okay, so this one, so I'm going to cover this because I have this big idea. I always have a bunch of big ideas. You know. So let's cover the back of this with my glue stick, maybe. Anything open-ended, I hold on to, Tam. Okay, so I'm going to take this and glue it onto the back side of this paper, and I'm going to kind of butt it up as close to the edge on all sides so that I okay, there we go. Right, and now let's start to trim that, and then shut it. I still have all of this, and look at this. Has this one I embossed backward because, well, a plethora of reasons, but I love that it's, I don't know, I was just experimenting and playing around, and so I might need to use a little bit stronger glue on some of the parts that are I swear, Peg, I love that XL glue stick too. You know, it's so funny, all the people that you kind of meet along the way in your life. And so there's a girl named Amanda Z. I can't remember how to pronounce her last name, but I met her, probably 10, 12 years ago. And she worked for a company called Me and My Big Ideas. Anybody remember that company? Anyway, she and Me and My Big Ideas also then she worked for a company called Happy Planner. Stephanie Fleming used to own it, and now I think her siblings own it. But anyway, she is kind of a junk journaler now. She's a young mom, and let's trim this out. She's the one I saw using that giant glue stick, and it just made me laugh. Then I found out like all kinds of other people were using it, and that made me laugh. Because it's just funny, and it does cover a lot of surface. I just like to reinforce places where it's going to get a lot of wear and tear, and so I like to the connection point for the Rolodex card to the Rolodex holder. That's going to get moved a lot, and so okay, so we've covered our card, and let's see, I'm feeling like I know what flower I want to put on here, but then I'm thinking, but do I want to build more on here, build more visual interest? I don't know. Okay, right, so let's keep that going. I know that I want to, oh, darn it. I know that I want this flower, stop it, to be part of it. And then I have these bits and bobs. Right, so let's, I don't know. Yes, it is. It is the company that owns, and if you know the history, Tam, Me and My Big Ideas was started by this fabulous girl named Stephanie Fleming. I missed the Xyron glue stick. I know, the triangle shape. It's so good. It was so good. And I've used almost all of them, and because I had so many of them working for them. But I am sad. I am sad that they don't make those anymore. Everybody take a drink. So let's make some. So while I ponder this, I think I have these bits and bobs. Oh, I have these two. Stop it, look at that. So pretty, right? Okay, so I have this that I want to ponder. I thought I had more of those little, 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have, how many more of those? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have one more of these little flowers. Who knows? It could have fallen in between. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so then I was thinking. What if Keely, swear to God, Keely, that's where I met Amanda. That's where I met Amanda. In that same booth. How crazy is that? Oh my gosh, I had so many things that I used those stick figure stickers on. So many things. Okay, so let's set this aside and let's make some card fronts because I have some ideas. So, like I said, I have all of these card fronts, right? Or just pieces of art paper that I've embossed because I can do a million things with these, right? So what about this? Look at this. What do you think about this? And then I could have these guys on here. Kind of digging that. And then I could have some, right? So this is an idea. There's one. I remember that. They are not the Lindy's colors for the September retreat. Peg, you know me. You know if I find a new something, I take a deep dive. And I'm taking a deep dive in the Lindy's. And then the Wow embossing powders. And then even more stencil butter and light and fluffy texture paste. Okay, so let's make something with the Lily of the Valley. Kind of have a big idea for that. So I have a couple of thoughts because I also have these poppies, which, shut up. Ooh, there's my other, that one goes with that. Okay, so I have this other big idea. So what do you think? So this, right? Oh my gosh, I love this. But then, shut it, look at these. Shut it, look at those. I'm kind of all about this. And I know, but I promise I would never influence you on something that I wasn't in love with, Peg. And, you know, Jeff will never forget that you influenced me on a car. I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, shut it. Look at this. So the embossing folder that I, don't you love when there's this weird, crazy, happy accident? The embossing folder that I used for this paper had some remnants of color from some other project that I was working on. that I didn't clean up after myself. Imagine. Okay, so look, you can kind of see a little bit of color right there. Do you see it? Let's see if I put this behind there. Well, a little bit of that color came out on this paper. I'm kind of in love with that. So I'm wondering if that paper would be better for these flowers, because you've got this little tiny bit of red, and then if we put that on there, then those pop. Stop it. And then these, what do you think about these on the green? I'm kind of in love with that, you guys. I'm kind of in love with that. Yes. Then I have this one flower. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 things so far. And then I have this one flower that I was thinking there. Stop it. And then I could build around that. Right? Or look at this one. Shut it. Yeah, let's see. Oh, that's pretty. It's a mutual influence society, Peg. Okay, so that. And then I have this. Okay. So this could be okay. Kind of in love with that. Okay. And I have my well-loved Creative Memories cutting mat. And my my X-Acto knife to cut out here and here. Okay, remember you're gonna take the point and you're going to push it into your paper and then push it in and then pull. Right? And don't rush this process. Take your time. Push it in and pull. Push it in and pull. Push it in and pull, and then let's pop that piece out. So pretty. Okay, let's do the same thing here. Push and then pull. Nice and slow, nice and slow. And right here, push it in and pull. And you know, we've often talked about the power of this finger. This finger is doing a lot of heavy lifting, right? We're going to push in, and then I'm really pressing with this finger, the worker finger, right? Push in and pull, but I'm using my thumb to really kind of guide that, the blade. Stop it. Okay. So let's, kind of loving that. Here's a card front that I created. Fold it and mark it with a B and put it in the oven for baby and me. Right. So I'm going to, I can't find my brayer. not my brayer, my bone folder. So I'm gonna have to just use my fingers, which is probably the world's first bone folder, right? Okay, so now let's lay this down, shall we? And let's get some score tape. I think, and this is just my humble opinion, but I think if you have, I'm the kind of card maker that your card doesn't need to be complicated to be beautiful, right? Your card can be clean and simple, but with artsy elements. Does that make sense? Right? So here we go. So this embossed artsy paper, right? I'm slightly off, but I don't care. Because, are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? I could do something down the side here. I have a couple of thoughts. So first, let's trim off the excess. And I've been kind of daydreaming about this idea for a bit. It's something that I did, probably 20 years ago. You know, nothing's brand new. I took crepe paper. Okay. Like just from the dollar store crepe paper. And I folded it almost in half, right? So, like this. I used to do this in my scrapbook classes. Right? And it doesn't matter if it's even because it's going to get all scrunched up anyway. Okay, so you're just going to take a length of crepe paper and then you're going to fold it almost in half. So you have double ruffle. Shut it, right? Then you're going to take your score tape again and you're just going to run it along the edge of that card, right? We're going to peel that off and then watch. We're going to take this prepared crepe paper and we're going to start here. I like to start off the edge because then I can trim it to a nice edge. So then I'm going to start there and I'm just going to start pleating it with my fingers. Pleat, 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 right? Pleat, pleat, pleat. And they don't have to be even either because it's a ruffle, right? It's going to be kind of all over the place, right? Pleat, pleat, pleat. And so here's the thing. This card is not going to fit in a regular old envelope. Now, like once you're already to the end, come back and finger smush it, smush it, smush it, smush it, smush it into that score tape and then trim here. And then trim here. Stop it. Look at that. OMG. I'm just in love with that. I'm just in love with that. And then look at, we can adhere these posies and we can go over that because shut up, why wouldn't we, right? And then we can find a sentiment that would work. So, you know, from all of my art principles, I like to cut the sentiments and I put them in their own zipper bag. And then I have, most of them are cut out in some kind of way. Stop it, give yourself grace. Okay, I'm feeling like, let's do, Shall we do this popped? If we have to make a custom envelope anyway, why wouldn't we? And remember, I have this great big roll of foam tape, right? So let's go. I'm going to add bits of foam tape behind all the big bits, right? There we go. Whoops. There. Okay, so this one is long, but it's kind of skinny. So I cut kind of a long piece and then cut it in half. And then look, shut it. Works there. And then I have the stem of sorts. So let's kind of do the same thing there. But I'm going to cut a skinnier piece. And I want to try and make sure that I have that's supported a little bit, the joint of the, like where these bits meet this bit. This seems like maybe if I cut a super skinny strip, like it's just too floppy, like it's gonna have insecure points. So we need to secure that a little bit. There we go. And then I think here and here. Let's see what we can do there. So there, here a piece, there a piece, everywhere a piece. And then let's get one more for right there. I know, Peg, I swear. That's so funny. Somebody was asking me the other day, they sent me an email from the newsletter, asking me a question from something that was posted in the newsletter. They said, what paper does Carmen print your art printables so that she can watercolor on them? So I went through my whole spiel, you know, as we do. And, I also have, I pulled up, Jeff always says, if our homeowners knew how much old crap we have in this house that could go up in flames, they probably wouldn't, they wouldn't insure us anymore, but whatevs. Hi, Deb. Okay, so I have these old spools of thread. Look at how old they are. Stop. Okay, so we have white right here. What if we take some of this black thread and we make kind of a globbly glook of threads? We could put it back there. Shut it. Kind of digging that idea. So now I'm thinking, what if I do it? What if I do it? Oh, so anyway, so this person asked me about what paper Carmen used, and so I linked it to my Amazon, and it told me how many times I've ordered that paper. Ugh! You know what, you guys? It was a lot. I'm just saying, it was a lot. I want to take some of my washi tape and add another little something. because I wanted like more black. So let's really smush that in. Because it's, oh, look at it. It's like smushing into that embossed front. Stop. And then, well, hello, Miss Linz. How are you? Okay. Trim that off. Right? And then, let's peel these all off. But I'm not going to peel the stem off. I'm going to, because I want to put that thread behind it. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. Oh, this one's a tricky one. There we go. Ah! Whoosh. Whoosh. All right. There. There. Okay. So now I'm going to put this, whoops, down. I kind of want it a little off center, off kilter. Right? So let's just stick something down and then commit. There we go. All right. Now, under here, before I stick down the foam tape, I want to have this scrunch of thread, of this old black thread. How am I doing on time, you guys? Oh, I have lots of time. Now I'm going to take my art glitter glue. Well, happy birthday, Valerie. Thanks for letting us know, Linz. Thank you. Okay, so let's get some art glitter glue down here. And let's scrunch that down. Right? Like that. Then let's peel this off. And then stick that down to OMG. And let's trim that. And then let's put a little glue here so that sticks down. And then we still have our sentiment. So let's trim that. Thanks for the heads up about Valerie's birthday, Linz. I love that. Everybody take a drink. Okay. I want to trim this a little bit more. A little closer. There's one. And there's two. Stop, I love that. Then there. What do you think? Oh, I think that's grand, Anne. I think that's absolutely grand. Okay. Oh my gosh, and I haven't even talked to you guys about any of my talking points that I have for today. And they're all so good. Okay. I hope you do something to celebrate you today, Valerie. Shut up. Look at that. And look, I have this excess, so you know that means that I have to make a special envelope for it. Loving that. Okay, let's do... Let's work on our Field of Flowers. Remember that from Avon? Field of Flowers. Let's work on this Rolodex. So I want it all like shades of purple. Purple and periwinkle. Okay, let's find a sentiment. Oh, keep growing. Shut it. That's kind of a good one. I don't know. I don't know what I would do without zipper bags. I have so many zipper bags. I love them so much. I kind of like that one, wishing you all that is happy. Oh, shut up, Hello Flower. I think that's the one. I think that's the one. Okay, so let's build this, shall we? So we have this. I like, especially on my Rolodex. Good morning, Denise. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I know the thread. Shut it with the thread. I'm feeling like I might need to do more of that. I have so many zipper bags, and I just keep gathering them. I do. I thought, oh, I bought something on the Etsy shop. Guys, and look at this. It's like taffeta that they cut in strips and tied the packaging with it. You can see the tie right there. Oh, you know I'm doing something with this, sister. I don't even know what just yet, but I want to incorporate that in something. Okay, let's see. Oh, guess what I found? Bone folder. Let's see. Okay. I'm feeling like I have two of these guys. So what if we did one like down there? Stop it. There. 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 Oh, shut up. I know I have one more of those little stinking flowers, and I don't know. I guess I just have to wait for it to rear its pretty head. Okay, so let's see. The thing that I wanted to talk to you about today. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? I saw okay, so I need to, and this doesn't happen every time, Tam, but for the most part, any idea how to get my Facebook to show everyone's live comments instead of just mine without refreshing? No, Tammy. Like sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So I have just taken to refreshing periodically throughout the broadcast. I use my phone and iPad phone for comments. Oh, okay. Good thought. Okay, so I feel like I want to incorporate some of either this organza ribbon or thread on this art print, or this Rolodex card. Let's see, I had a thought. What if I just wrap some thread around here? How about that idea? Just wrap, 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 wrap. Wrap, 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 wrap. Call it the wrapper. Do, 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 do. Okay. Let's take a piece of washi, secure that. Kind of digging that idea. Oh, Keels, you too. I know. And can I tell you, I've never figured it out. So I've tried to not figure it out anymore. What if I put that right in the center? Because look, then I have the cuteness on both sides of the thread. Kind of liking that. Let's do that instead, shall we? Okay, so isn't it crazy how things happen in this funny way? Okay, so I read this article and I thought I posted it to the Facebook group, or to the Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook page, the article. If I didn't, I will. Okay, so the article is from NPR. Big surprise. Anyway, the article was all about how saying hello to strangers can be good for you. Tammy, do you remember we just had this conversation? So, there's this whole there's this whole thing about, oh yes, right there. And now I think I'm just going to glue like the centers of the flowers, because then I can tuck. Because you know, there's nothing cuter than a tuck, right? So let's just glue the center of that flower. Yep. There we go. Turn. Wipe off the excess glue. Perfect. There's this whole study about the power of saying hello to strangers. A study shows that social ties, which is a fancy way of saying being nice to others, even those you don't know, has benefits. So there's this a psychologist named Jillian Sandstrom, and she talked about, she kind of was interested because she had this random encounter with a hot dog vendor, and she realized, like, she observed how it had a positive effect on her. And so then she kind of goes on to study it more. Then, are you ready for it? Oh, let's tuck this under there. Stop it. A global health professor by the name of Kristen Jenkins from Cornerstone University in Grand Rapids, Michigan, did this experiment with her students. She had her students practice this idea of, good morning, Terry, how are you? Had her students practice this experiment of engaging with strangers, but just by like saying hello, smiling at them, and kind of observing the results of that. What she found was, let's see, you know what, let's do this guy up here. What about that idea? what she found was that, yes. It didn't matter if they were introverted or extroverted. They all found that to be beneficial. And that they all wanted to continue. And so she talks about when we are deliberate in showing kindness, even through simple conversations, it benefits us as much as the recipient. Right? So these random encounters can be quite uplifting. So smile and say hello to people, right? Then, are you ready for it? Then I happened upon, there's another Instagram that I follow, and her name, or the name of her Instagram is Sophistical Lifestyle. I know. And I will find the exact spelling on that, and I'll let you know. Anyway, she had this post that said that talked about like just smiling and acknowledging other women. I mean, you know, it's not sexist or anything. It just is what it is. Wait a second. Do I want to put this? Oh, what about that? What about that, you guys? And then there. I want everything to peek through, right? I want the embossed to peek through. I want the flowers to peek through. I want the thread to peek through. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know about that. What about there? What about there? I'm kind of liking that. So we'll get there. Anyway, she talked about protecting your peace is a community effort. Right? So she said she happened to be walking down the street doing her little laps around the neighborhood, and she has this neighbor who was in her garden, and so she acknowledged her neighbor looked up and said something to the effect of like, keep going, girl. And then she smiled back and she said, look at you making your garden so pretty. And the power of that to both of them. Oh, I just loved it. Good morning, Karen. I have one more. I think I'll find that other stinking flower. So let's see. Should we do it here? Should we do it here? I kind of like the clusteriness of them all, you know? Yep. Let's do it there. Whoops. Yep. Oh my gosh. I'm in love with that. So, smile at strangers. Say hello. I promise it will probably have a positive effect. I love it too, Peg. And have an amazing day. Have a terrific Tuesday, Peg. I know, oh, we're almost done. It goes so fast, doesn't it? When we're having a blast. Okay. Shut it. I'm loving that. I love that. Everybody take a drink. So we made 2 things today, both involving thread, both involving Lindy's and embossing folders and my washi tape, and this one doesn't have crepe paper, but this one does. Kind of loving that. Anywho, and some foam tape. I didn't use foam tape on this one. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe that would, well, whatever. Anyway, I will take a moment to bid you adieu. I'm going to leave these both right here and daydream about what I'm going to do with this gorgeous fabric. I don't know what I'm going to do with it next. It'll live on somewhere. You guys, what about with that? Oh, loving that. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it, but got a lot of big ideas. So I hope that I've inspired you to either purchase the okay, bye Valerie, have an amazing birthday, and I'll see you tomorrow in Stitch Along. I hope I've encouraged you and inspired you to purchase the 6th birthday bundle, or if you went to the retreat, to pull out the woodland wildflowers and make some stuff. I adore you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Thanks so much, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.